Again, please clear the aisles or we can't begin. Please clear the aisles. Everyone, please be seated. We'd like to begin. I'd like to welcome all the parents, grandparents, friends, and faculty to the 2018 Hebrew Academy of Long Beach graduation. We kindly ask you to silence all your cell phones and please keep the aisles clear at all times. Please join me in welcoming the graduating class of 2018 of the Hebrew Academy of Long Beach. Ladies and gentlemen, please acknowledge the graduating class of 2018. Please rise for the singing of Hatikva and the national anthem led by our very own Richie Hagler.
Followed by Lev of Penima, Nefesh Yehudi Homiyah, Ulfate Mizrach Kadima, Ayin Letzion Sophia. Od lo of the tikvatenu, ha tikva bachanot alpayim, liotam chavshi be'artzenu, Eretz Zion, Yerushalayim. Liotam chavshi be'artzenu, Eretz Zion, Yerushalayim. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early lights what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Please be seated. Good evening. My name is Nathaniel Rogoff, co-president of the Hebrew Academy of Long Beach, and a proud father of a graduate, Batya Rogoff. We'll see if I can get through this without crying like some of the rest of you. But as Lance says, real men cry. I would like to introduce the Dais. On my right, my co-president, Mitch Kirshner, Mr. Lance Hurt, chairman of the board, Mazeltov to Lance on Josh's graduation from DRS last night, Mr. Richard Hagler and his beautiful voice, executive director, Hebrew Academy of Long Beach, Mrs. Tammy Radinsky and Mrs. Tova Keller, our elementary school executives, and the two most important people to the Hebrew Academy of Long Beach, Mrs. Dina Hershkowitz and Mrs. Shoshana Mizrahi, our Women's League Presidium. Now on my left and your right, Mrs. Helen Spurn, head of school of SKA. Mazel tov to Mrs. Spurn on Chana's graduation this evening. Mrs. Gail Rusko, Director of General Studies for the lower school. Mrs. Marjorie Wine, Associate Principal, Gender Studies for the middle school. Rabbi Yehuda Fogel, Associate Principal, Limudei Kodesh Middle School. Mr. Richard Altaby, Principal of the Lower School. And Rabbi Dr. Uriel Lebetsky, Principal of the Middle School. I would now like to call upon Rabbi Fogel to present the awards for this evening.
A wise man once said that the only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. It's with extreme honor that I recognize the 2018 awardees who can be described by their unique and consistent work ethic. I'd like to call upon Leora Koenig and Ruben Gampel, our salutatorians, to lead us into Tehillim.
Shira ma'alu asa'inai el haharim me'ayin yavo ezri. Ezri me'yim Adonai useh shamayim ba'aretz. Al yitin lamut raglacha al yanum shomrecha. Hini lo yanum velo yishan shomer Yisrael. Adonai shomrecha, Adonai tzilcha al yad yaminecha. Yomam hashemesh lo yakeka v'yarech b'layla. Adonai yishmorcha mikol ra yishmor et nafshecha. Adonai yishmor ticha v'oecha me'et haviyad olam.
Shir amalos ledavat samachti borim li beis Adonai neilech om dosa yuraglenu bisharayich Yerushalayim Yerushalayim habnuya ki yershech gubra la yachdav sheshamalu shvatim shifteya eidos li Yisrael lehodos l'shem Adonai kishama yashvu kisos lemishpat kisos lebeis David sha'alu shalom Yerushalayim yishlayu ohavayich ki hi shalom bechelech shalva barmanosayich lamanachai b'rei Adabrana shalom bach leman beis Adonai Eloheinu avak tov lach.
I'd like to call upon the Kesser Shem Tov awardees, Shira Magdar and Jakey Hoshander.
Honored rabbis, teachers, parents, and friends. As you might expect, standing here before you, I'm feeling a little nervous right now. Of so many people, but to be honest, that's not what I'm most nervous about. When I reflect on all the years I've been here at HALB, I think of my friends, teachers, and all the wonderful experiences that have contributed to making this place an exciting, nurturing, and warm place to be. Now, that's all about to change. My fellow classmates and I will be leaving our comfortable cocoon here at HALB and transition to a new phase in our lives. So, I'm sure I could speak for all of us when I'm saying I'm feeling a little nervous. High school will be an entirely new experience, a new environment with new teachers, new expectations, new friends. It's a lot to take in all at once. But does it really have to be this way? Why can't we stay here, together in our beautiful new building for the next 4 years? After all, transition isn't easy. It's challenging. It's uncomfortable. Well, I've thought a lot about this, and I've come to the conclusion that there's simply nothing we could do about it. It's the way it has to be. In fact, it's the way Hashem wants it to be. You see, right from the very beginning of the Torah, God is clearly telling us that staying in our comfort zone just won't cut it. He has bigger plans for us, greater expectations. After Adam and Chava sin in Gan Eden, God forces them out of their cocoon into the harsh reality of a brand new world filled with lots of challenges. It is, however, the effort they make facing those challenges which will help them and mankind from that point forward to reach their potential and connect to God in an even deeper way than before. When God brings the flood, it is the Teva, the ark which protects Noah and his family from the elements. Reluctantly, he must leave his wooden cocoon and transition into the reality of a new world. Then there was God telling Abraham, Lech Lecha, Yitzchak experiencing the Akedah, Yaakov running from Esav, and Yosef being sold into slavery. All seemingly impossible situations to overcome. Yet, we learn that their challenges laid the foundation for Klal Yisrael. Their Mesirat Nefesh, their strength to overcome adversity, is now embedded in the neshama of every single Jew. What can we learn from all this? I think it's pretty clear. I believe that God has purposely created a world in which He expects us to reach beyond our comfort zone and deal with the fear and discomfort of transition, because that's the formula for achieving greatness. As we see from the parsha we read this past Shabbos, that is precisely the message the Meraglim failed to understand, and it resulted in Bnei Israel wandering in the Midbar for 40 years. God's message is clear. Living in your comfort zone is not the ideal. It's not what we should expect if we want to grow and experience life to its fullest. But it doesn't mean we leave everything behind. There is something valuable we could take with us as we embark on this journey. For sure, we learned a lot here at HALB. We gained a lot of knowledge, but I bet if you ask your parents what they remember most about their middle school years, you can be sure that they won't tell you about the math and science they learned. They will tell you about the moments that made the biggest impression on them, the ones that made a difference. It might have been the teacher that was passionate about teaching and who made it exciting, or the one who skipped their lunch or stayed late to help them because they cared. Maybe it was the principal or security guard who greeted them each day with a smile and a good morning as they got off the bus, or that friend that helped them with their homework, or the one who made a point of calling them when they were sick to wish them a refuah shlema. When I look back on my years here, these are the things I will remember, because HALB is not just about the knowledge we gained. It's about those moments, the seemingly little things that often go unnoticed that make a big difference in our lives. So, now it's our turn to transition. Many of us will go in different directions: new schools, new communities, new friends. As you go on your own way, take these memories with you. Remember your HALB family. Remember the great times. Remember the hearty laughs, friendly high fives, and happy tears. Remember the smiles that you look forward to seeing every single day, and the hugs that made everything in the world seem right. Hold on to all those memories. Be thankful for the relationships we made. Be thankful for the great times together, because little can compare to the time that we spent here, and be thankful for the opportunities that you had to make a difference in someone else's day. Because when it's all said and done, you too will be remembered for those seemingly little things that you did to make a big difference in someone else's life. That is your Keter Shem Tov. So polish it every day, keep it close, and wear it proudly on your journey, because Hashem wants you to know that it is that crown, more than anything else, that will help you overcome the challenges you are guaranteed to face along the way. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazik. Thank you.
Down here.
Honored Rebbeim, teachers, morot, parents, grandparents, friends, and the graduating class of 2018. I would like to start out this speech by talking about a topic I know everyone here is interested in. An influence in all of our lives that has only been around for a short time, but has had such an incredible impact on each and every one of us. This new trend has taught me a lot about life and how to act, and I want to share these lessons with you. Obviously, what I'm talking about is Fortnite. Now, I know what you're all thinking. Fortnite is the greatest video game ever, but I want to tell you why I think it is. I think there are many not-so-hidden messages in the game that we can all learn from. So here we go. First, a little background in case you have been disconnected from society for the past few months. Fortnite is a communal video game that involves working with a teammate and disabling the other players in the game until you are the last player or team standing. It is played over the internet so that approximately 100 players from around the world can all play and compete on multiple types of devices from anywhere. In fact, some of you are probably playing it right now in the audience. Here are 4 life lessons that I think we can all learn from Fortnite. Number 1, leadership. In any scenario that a team is working together, a leader is either assigned or a leader emerges. The same is true in Fortnite. A team can only be as strong as its leader. So what are the qualities of a good leader? Well, we see from Tzahal, the Israeli army, that a good leader leads from in front. A good leader doesn't only delegate responsibilities, but also takes on responsibilities of their own. They lead by example, but the best leaders are the ones that are leading but you don't even know that they are. This could be a teacher, a rebbe, or even a classmate that you admire. Someone who is always doing the right thing no matter what the situation is. This is a true leader and someone we should all look to emulate. In this past week's Parsha Shlach, we see these leadership skills displayed by Yehoshua ben Nun and Caleb ben Yefune when they stood up against the other Meraglim and told the truth about Eretz Yisrael. Even though there were many against them, they stood up for what was right. Number 2, hard work and practice. Well, I can't think of anything more connected to Fortnite than practice. I personally try to practice Fortnite at least a few hours every day. This level of practice will improve your speed, agility, and hand-eye coordination. I think it's important to practice anything that you want to get better at, like sports, schoolwork, and musical instruments. Hard work and repetition are the keys to improvement in anything in life. Number 3, strategy. What is strategy? Well, it's coming up with a well-thought-out plan long before you put that plan into action. It's the ability to fast-forward in your head and play out multiple scenarios in your mind before you ever put those plans into action. Sometimes strategy comes from knowledge, sometimes it comes from experience. Often it comes from both. Experience will come with time, knowledge comes from learning. Continuous pursuit of learning combined with experience will help you make good, well-thought-out decisions. You may not always make the correct decision, but at least your decision will be a strategic one. And finally, number 4, teamwork. Often games of Fortnite are played in groups of 2, 4, 20, or 50. In this scenario, a player will team up with other players and work to a common goal. The game allows for conversation, discussion, and collaboration amongst the players. In this way, players can discuss options and work together. This type of collaboration is very similar to the way many big companies do business. They group employees together from different backgrounds and geographies who must find a way to work together. We learn from Koheles the importance of teamwork from this pasuk. Tovim hashnaim min ha'echad asher yesh lahem sachar tov ba'amalam. 2 are better than 1 because they have good reward for their work. What Shlomo HaMelech is describing here is the positive collaboration that takes place when 2 or more people are working toward a common purpose, not living only for themselves. Throughout the years at HALB, our projects and assignments, both in and out of school, have given us the foundation for these lifelong skills. This past year, I was fortunate to participate in National History Day under the leadership of Miss Waterman and moved on to compete at Hofstra University against many other students across Long Island. Although we didn't progress to the next round, I learned important lessons about working as a team, having each other's backs, and finding ways to support each other to achieve our common goals. I think that's enough about Fortnite. I would like to take this opportunity to thank my many wonderful rebbeim, teachers, and administrators at HALB. Throughout my school years, I have attended several different schools across multiple states, and never have I felt such a warm, family-like environment like I do at HALB. Thank you to my parents, brothers, grandparents, and extended family for always believing in me and encouraging me to grow and become a better person. Putting the lessons we can learn from Fortnite aside, I want to leave you with a quote that I came across that truly sums up what it is like to be a good person. It's from Brian Skavnik, an author and the founder of an organization called Be the Nice Kid. The quote reads as follows: "Some kids are smarter than you. Some kids have cooler clothes than you. Some kids are better at sports than you. It doesn't matter. You have your thing too. Be the kid who can get along. Be the kid who is generous. Be the kid who is happy for other people. Be the kid who does the right thing. Be the nice kid." Congratulations to you, my fellow classmates of 2018. I can't wait to see what the future will bring. Mazeltov.
Thank you. The following award has been voted on by the class of 2018. I'd like to call upon Leora Ellenberg and Jaron Shiwitz to receive the Carroll Fireman Award for Bein Adam Lachvero. I'd like to call upon Dina Cohn and Yoni to receive the award for excellence in leadership and chesed. I would like to... Hello? Leora Stern, Chana Spern, Daniel Gutman, and Ari Leifer to receive the Edward Jacobs Memorial Award for excellent in Midot and athletics. I'd like to call upon the Valedictorians, Abigail Greenberg and Joseph Masri, to receive their awards.
Thank you, Rabbi Fogel. I would now like to call upon Rabbi Dr. Uri Lebetsky to address our graduates.
Distinguished members of the Dais, honored rabbis and faculty, parents, grandparents, family, friends, and my dear Talmidim and Talmidot. A young man presented his teacher with a gift of water from a fresh spring. The teacher tasted it, smiled, and thanked the student for the sweet tasting water. His assistant, however, tasted it and spat it out. "Why did you say it was sweet when it was bitter?" he asked. "Ah," said the teacher, "you only tasted the water. I tasted the gift." The assistant focused only on the water, while the teacher concentrated on the gesture. The student was thoughtful enough to give a gift. The teacher was emphasizing that although the gift may not have been the best gift, and may not have been to his liking, still, it is important to appreciate and recognize what another person has done for you. My dear graduates, at times, you may not have appreciated every class, every activity, or every program, but we must still acknowledge that our community gave you the gift of education. Let's reflect for a moment on all those who have made it possible for you to learn and grow at HALB and understand why we owe them our appreciation. First, thank you to the Almighty, She'echiyanu v'kiyimanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh, that He brought us to this moment in our lives. Hashem is the prime mover behind the scenes, bringing us to this point. To our lay leadership, to the presidents of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Mitch Kirshner and Mr. Nathaniel Rogoff, Mazeltov on Batya's graduation. Not an hour goes by that they are not thinking of HALB. You have encouraged us to improve our students' education and provided us with the resources to accomplish our goals. Many thanks as well to the entire Board of Directors for their constant support. To the Chairman of the Board, Mr. Lance Hurt, and former Chairman of the Board, Mr. Jerry Williams. Your astute vision and strategic planning have propelled the yeshiva to greater heights. To the school executives, Tova Keller and Tammy Radinsky, your advice and guidance have been invaluable in charting the right course for the school. To the Parent Council and its head, Gavri Butler, the council members have provided excellent advice and feedback from the parents. To the Women's League, led by Adina Hershkowitz and Shoshana Mizrahi. Many programs and events, and especially student trips, are organized and subsidized by the Women's League. To our administrative leadership, to our Rosh Yeshiva and Menahel of DRS, Rabbi Yisrael Kamenetsky, and Head of School of SKA, Mrs. Helen Spurn. Condolences to Rabbi Kamenetsky on the loss of his father, and Mazel Tov to Mrs. Spurn on Chana's graduation. You provide crucial advice and direction in setting a unified agenda for our school and guiding the school with the proper hashkafa. To our lower school principal, Mr. Richard Altaby, who is my partner in the elementary school and has been invaluable in providing advice and support. To our associate principal for general studies, Mrs. Marjorie Wine, who works tirelessly to implement our vision of a wholesome, professional, academic institution that cares about every child. To our associate principal for Limudei Kodesh, Rabbi Yehuda Fogel, who is dedicated to implementing standards in Limudei Kodesh while focusing on educating each student according to their needs. To our Director of Guidance, Mrs. Carly Namdar, Director of Support, Mrs. Elise Vitau, and our Director of Technology, Mr. Yosef Skolnick, who provide academic, social, emotional, and technological support for our students. To our Executive Director, Mr. Richie Hagler, and our Associate Executive Director, Mr. Chaim Hollander. Behind the scenes, whether in operations, finance, or personnel, you ensure the smooth functioning of the school, always with a smile. To our fantastic Rebbeim, Morot, and faculty, we thank you for your enthusiasm in the classroom. The students are excited to learn because you came excited to teach. We thank you for engaging our students with relevant lessons. The students connect their studies to their lives because of your worthwhile classwork. Most of all, we thank you for your dedication to the welfare of our students. This was most evident in the speeches that you shared about students and the reaction of the students at the graduate luncheons. Because you touched their hearts, the students have been inspired to reach new heights. May the one above bless each one of you with nachat and joy from your families in the merit of all you do for the students in our yeshiva. To our Director of General Studies in the lower school, Mrs. Gail Rusko, we appreciate all that you have done to help our students throughout the lower school years. To our senior Rebbe, Rabbi Gershon Kramer, and Mechanechet Mora Michelle Fireman. Thank you for the many hours of guidance and support for our students. To our Learning Center and District Services staff, especially Mrs. Eisenberg and Mrs. Hech, thank you for all that you do in ensuring that every student in our yeshiva can live up to their potential. To our office staff and to our maintenance staff, thank you for providing us with a clean and orderly place in which to learn. And to the parents, thank you for being willing partners in the education of our children, for participating in school events and programs, for encouraging proper midot and study skills, and for supporting the school and its values. Thank you as well for the constructive criticism intended to improve the school. Most of all, thank you for entrusting your children to our care. May we continue to share much nachat together. Graduates, tonight you can give verbal thanks to all the people that I mentioned. But tomorrow and beyond, you can consider how you can repay the people who put so much into your education and molded you into a ben and bat Torah. And finally, one more thank you to the students. Without you, HALB would not be Yeshivat Lev. Without you, I would have no one to scold, stop bouncing the ball in the hallways, no one to reprimand, stop eating in the classrooms, no one to prod, and for some, it literally is prodding, go outside for recess. No one to admonish, stop chanting, you're going to miss me. No one to rebuke. Is that dress code? I don't think so. But without you, I would also have no one to praise. What a terrific presentation at National History Day. No one to compliment. Thank you for inviting that student over on Shabbat. No one to applaud. That comment in class reflected a thorough understanding of the topic. No one to commend. What an impressive interview on names, not numbers. No one to admire. What a fantastic result on Chidon HaTanakh. No one to congratulate. A terrific season in sports, especially in girls basketball and soccer. And personally, without you, I would not feel as fulfilled as I do in my job. Relationships with students was why I became a teacher and principal. And I'm elated that I was able to forge relationships with many of you. Although I could do without some of you calling me Abba or Yo Rabbi. I trust that these relationships will continue and look forward to maintaining a connection with you. And now, to my message to the graduates. Recently, several of you complained about work. One student protested that he was receiving a cumulative final. The final should not have to cover all the material from the beginning of the year. How do you expect me to study and remember everything? Another student grumbled about his argumentative essay. I am not writing an essay. School is over for me already, and I don't have to write it. And another student groused about not having a ditch day. Why do we need another full day of school? Can't you just give us a day off? You should have done what the girls did. Lastly, I required students to distill their world view or their experiences at HALB into 6 words. You'll be seeing the final product in just a few minutes. Students kvetched. I don't know what to say. This is way too difficult. And what was common to all this complaining was a rejection of hard work. Students, you feel that you've put in work and effort over the past 8 years, and now you are entitled to rest. One student concisely summed it up in his 6-word memoir: I would rather relax than study. The spies delivered a similar message in their report to the people after they toured the land. They stated, and all the people we saw in the land were Anshe Midot. Rav Chaim Paltiel, a 13th century French biblical commentator, interprets Anshe Midot to mean Anshe Milacha, people engaged in grueling labor. According to this approach, the scouts depicted the land as a place that demands hard work. In essence, they were telling the people, you think that things will get easier in Eretz Yisrael? It's going to be difficult there too, and perhaps even more so. The scouts warned the people that awaiting them in Eretz Yisrael is a harsh life and exhaustive work, rather than a life of comfort and relaxation. The land of Israel makes certain demands of its inhabitants and might require more effort and exertion than other places. But this wasn't a reason to reject the land. If the land Hashem gives us demands that we become Anshe Midot, people who work hard, then we ought to accept this challenge and do what it takes to reside there. This message, of course, can be applied to high school and more broadly to all areas of Torah and mitzvot. High school will not be easy and will demand more time, more effort, and more energy. You will need to balance significant coursework, commitment to Torah studies, and all of your extracurricular activities. It will not be easy, but I guarantee you that it will be a rewarding and fulfilling experience. Similarly, a Torah lifestyle often requires being Anshe Midot, with considerable investment of time and effort. Davening 3 times a day, devoting time to shiurim and learning, tzniut in action, speech, and dress, and performing chesed, that all is challenging. But rather than shying away from these hurdles, we should instead gladly embrace them and accept them. We are lucky to live our lives as devoted Avdei Hashem. 2 students summed up this idea in their 6-word memoirs: play hard, try hard, work hard. Or alternatively, working hard will get you far. Let us all heed their advice. And now, enjoy the rest of the 6-word memoirs that our students wrote, describing their worldview or their experience at HALB. Thank you to Yaakov Zeriker for creating this video.
As gitano bisimcho Yigagalu loy Chasois mitzvo Gedoy lamer ishoino Oise mitzvo As gitano bisimcho Yigagalu mitzvo Gedoy lamer ishoino Oise mitzvo As gitano bisimcho Yigagalu loy Sois mitzvo Gedoyle mer ishoino Hoy se mitzvo Achas kitano bisimcho Yigagalu mitzvo Gedoyle mer ishoino Schar mitzvo Eine dava kitzvo Wenn mit tut a mitzvo Chab mi noch a mitzvo Peire ser Oile Mazel Samele la mabo Schar mitzvo Eine dava kitzvo Wenn mit tut a mitzvo Chab mi noch a mitzvo Samele la mabo Oy se mitzvo Achas kitano bisimcho Yigagalu loy Asois mitzvo Gedoyle mer ishoino Oy se mitzvo Achas kitano bisimcho Yigagalu mitzvo Gedoyle mer ishoino Oy se mitzvo Achas kitano bisimcho Yigagalu loy Asois mitzvo Gedoyle mer ishoino Oy se mitzvo Achas kitano bisimcho Yigagalu mitzvo Gedoyle mer ishoino
Thank you, Rabbi Lebetsky. I think the last 6 words are truly the best. Great things are happening in HALB. I would like to call upon the Valedictorian Awardees, Tara Siklik and Zachary Rosenberg, to address their fellow graduates.
Honored rabbis, teachers, relatives, and friends. Mr. President, by a show of hands, how many people in this room saw the movie The Greatest Showman? That's a lot of people. Sorry, Abba, Mommy was right. Again. This year, The Greatest Showman took America and the world by storm. The movie topped $400 million in the box office. The soundtrack spent multiple weeks at #1 on the Billboard 200 chart. People across the world, men and women, young and old, have been singing the now famous songs for months. Aside from its popular soundtrack, many of us recognize the important underlying lessons that I believe the creators of the film wanted to impart to the audience, to all of us. Messages of acceptance, the power to control one's destiny, the importance of individuality and self-empowerment, and of course, the value of dreaming big. These lessons are not original. They are nothing new for the students of Yeshivat Lev. Throughout our years in HALB, we have been taught these same lessons through the study of Torah, the examples set by our Rebbeim and Morot, and our interactions with each other and with the outside world. What better example is there regarding controlling one's destiny and individuality than the actions of Yehoshua and Kalev when very outnumbered by the other Meraglim? In last week's Parsha, Parshat Shlach, the Torah tells us that Yehoshua and Kalev were the only ones of the 12 spies who reported optimistically about the Jews' prospects when entering Israel. What do we know about Yehoshua and Kalev before this time? In other words, what does the Torah tell us was special about the upbringings of these two men that enabled them to distance themselves from the crowd, forge their own paths, and ultimately do what was right? Actually, very little. We know that Yehoshua's father was Nun and that Kalev's father was Yefuna, but that's about it. And that's the point. We don't need famous parents or a prestigious upbringing to be leaders. Each of us controls our own destiny. Each of us has the power to choose what's right over what's popular. This year, we visited Holocaust museums. We met and interviewed survivors, heard their stories, and saw their strength. In the face of the most extreme adversity and tragedy, the survivors maintained their identities and individuality. They insisted on being names and not numbers, and they remained proud to be Jews. How much more so should we take pride in our Judaism? How much more so should we appreciate our parents and grandparents, hear their stories, and learn from their experiences, and protect our future? That with prayer and strength, we can ensure that our nation will endure. This year, we have seen the impossible come true. Israel reached its 70th birthday, and the United States recognized Yerushalayim as its capital. The founders of Eretz Yisrael began their journey with 1 million dreams for the future of the Jewish people. In 2018, we are lucky enough to see those dreams become a reality. At HALB, we are taught that with the help of Hashem, miracles can happen. The future is in our hands, and we have only to dream big and persevere to create a better world for the next generation. This year, we were encouraged to participate in chesed opportunities. We volunteered with organizations that help people less fortunate than we are and learn to appreciate our own blessings. We gave our free time to charities and learned the value of giving. And we worked with the disabled and helpless and learned the incredible power of acceptance. If we can accept others for who they are, it will be easier to accept ourselves for who we are and to proudly exclaim, "This is me." This year, we created memories to last a lifetime. We took sides in color war and then reunited as one. We celebrated a basketball championship and a soccer championship. We were superheroes at our Purim Chagiga. We will always treasure the fun of our senior trip and laugh as we recall the day that all the 8th grade girls overslept. It was a year to remember. It was truly the greatest show. The Greatest Showman may not be a source of original lessons, but it is a timely reminder of some of the Torah values that have been instilled in us here at HALB. So fellow graduates, as we prepare for the next journey of our lives, why don't we rewrite the stars, march on to the beat we drum, and recognize the power of the million dreams for the worlds we're gonna make. Mazeltov.
Hi, Mom. Rabbis, administration, parents, families, and most importantly, my fellow graduates. This is the start of a new era for us. We are finally graduating. Tonight, I can go home, turn on my phone, and not have any messages from other students asking me to do their homework assignments and tests. We are about to embark on the next phase of our lives, high school. We all have different goals for what we want to accomplish in high school. Some of you may want to be on the basketball team. Some of you hockey. Some of you debate. Some of you may even want to be in the chess club. For me, I'm going to work hard for the next 4 years to be the valedictorian of DRS in 2022. But I realized there's something more important than these goals. For most of us, when we look back on our high school experience, the memories that will stand out won't be who was on the sports team, but rather who was kind to others. One random small act of kindness can change the world for someone. Often, groups of people gang up on one person because of something they did or said. When one person stands up for that individual, it's likely that others will follow. We should all strive to be that one first person who stands up for someone else. Next year, when we're all in high school, when you see that one student who's sitting by him or herself during lunch, you be the one to go over and talk to them. On the first day of school, when there's a student who may not know others yet, you introduce yourself to them. When everyone is picking partners for a project, pick a partner that may not be as quickly chosen by others. In this week's Parsha, Korach challenges Moshe's leadership. Korach is angry because other people received jobs that he believed that he deserved. To show that he deserved to lead the Bnei Israel, Korach brought a carbon and stated that if it was accepted by Hashem, then he deserved to lead the Bnei Israel instead of Moshe. Moshe begs Hashem not to accept the carbon because he had never taken anything from anyone. The Mefarshim ask, why does Moshe use this reason to convince Hashem not to accept the carbon? He could have said that he took the Jews out of Mitzrayim, or that he split the Yam Suf, or any of the other things that he did. They answer that the reason he said this was because Hashem cares more about the seemingly unimportant behaviors than the impressive actions. Someone can give $1 million to charity, or he can befriend another person. Hashem values the small act of kindness more than the grand gesture. Unfortunately, over the last couple of years, there have been horrific stories of high school students feeling left out and ostracized. Maybe a kind word could have prevented their feelings of loneliness. High school is going to be hard enough, so we should all try and make it easier for others and each other by being kind. I'd like to thank Rabbi Lubetsky, Mrs. Wine, and Rabbi Fogel for always having an open door and a kind word. I'd like to thank all of our teachers and Rebbeim for giving us an outstanding education over the last 8 years. Finally, I'd like to thank my parents for always being there for me.
I would also like to call upon Mrs. Hershkowitz and Mrs. Mizrahi, the Women's League Presidium, to present a gift to the graduates. Parents, please refrain from coming up and taking pictures of the graduates. Pictures were already taken, and we will all get a copy. Jenna Abitan, Noga Altheim, Rivka Arakanchi, Sarah Beck, Leah Benzaken, Sophie Bachko, Dina Cohen, Leora Ellenberg, Tova Farber, Miri Fine, Shayna Friedman, Eliana Giller, Abigail Greenberg, Meira Greenwald, Gabrielle Isaacs, Atara Kleiman, Samantha Klein, Leora Koenig, Shira Magder, Sarah Masri, Kayla Muchnick, Tali Pack, Ashley Reichman, Batya Boo Rogov,
Go give her a kiss right now.
Lauren Savitt, Olivia Schechter, Abigail Schreiber, Karen Shetrit, Atara Siklik, Helena Singer, Chana Spurn, Leora Sturm, Ariella Traub, Ruchi Weinberg, Jojo Abitan, Arye Abramson, Kobe, I have the best hair out of it. Yoni Aspir, Spencer Beckerman, Isaac Berry, Noah Birnbaum, Jacob Bitone, Joseph Botnick, Samuel Carmel Silver, Isaac Krug, Zachary Forkosh, Eitan Fuchs, Ruben Gampel, Yaron Goodstein, Eitan Greenwald, Max Grill, Daniel Gutman, Gavriel Hershkovitz, Aaron Herschel, Jakey Hoshander, Zachary Eisler, Asher Kashani, Shlomo Katz, David Cohn, Noah Krupp, Ari Leifer, Judah Leifer, Joseph Masri, Shragi Medetsky, Yehuda Obermeister, Isaac Asroff, Asaf Pearl. Jacob Pfeiffer. Matthew Rosenberg. Zachary Rosenberg. Ezri Shank. Jaron, Jaron, James Shiowitz. Yoni Schoenbrunn. Eitan Seawald. Yoni Scheinman. Daniel Schlush. Zachary Siklik. Yair Sokol. Jordan Stefanski. Jonathan Sternberg. Yoni Tucker. Rafi Weiss. Jakob Zeriker. Thank you. Graduates, please be seated.
First minute from Maariv, 8:45. Yeah, 9:05.
Not 9:15?
No, I'm going to be done.
Let's have a big round of applause for Maura Tila, everybody. Special thank you to Chaim Hollader for coordinating the logistics tonight, and Lori Kirshner, our graduation chairperson. At the conclusion of the graduation, you're all invited outside to Collation. Please use all the doors. There will also be a minyan from Maariv in the base midrash at 8:45 and at 9:05. I ask that parents and grandparents remain in their seats until all of the graduates leave. The graduates will join you in the tent for the collation. I would now like to call upon Mr. Altaby to lead the graduates in singing Galei Hayam.
One year ago, I stood on this podium and I made a statement. I said, this might be the last time we ever sing Galei Hayam as a school. I clearly was wrong. I guess they wanted me back, and so here I am. I asked the following. Not only am I going to ask all the graduates of the class of 2018 to stand, but we know you're out there. So anybody in this room who is a graduate of HALB, whether you're from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, or the last few years, please rise along with our graduates right now. Let's go up, up. I see you. Okay. Galei Hayam Chozrim Tamid Lachov Ve'hamam Humayim Mayim Mayim Arein Sof Ve'hatorah Kamayim Mayim Arein Sof. Gotta go back and forth like this. Va'anachnu kagalim chozrim tamid lachov v'nishkach lanetzach et asher lamadnu sham b'shiva teinu al sfat hayam. Yes, we'll remember forevermore. Yeshivat lay upon the shore. One more time, okay. Yes, we'll remember forevermore. Yeshivat of the graduates, 218 and beyond.
Thank you, Mr. Alterby. I would like to call upon Mrs. Wine to deliver the convocation.
Graduates, I am so very proud of you. Class of 2018, please turn and face your parents. We know that you have fulfilled the requirements for graduation with the continuous support of your parents. We thank them for all of their efforts. Now please turn and face the stage. You have completed the required course of study as prescribed by the Board of Directors of the Hebrew Academy of Long Beach and the New York State Department of Education. With the power vested in us by the New York State Department of Education, I now declare you graduates of HALB's Class of 2018. You may now move your tassels from right to left. Mazeltov.
Thank you. I would just like to remind the audience to remain seated while the graduates take their leave. Graduates, please take your leave.
You're all invited to the collation outside. Use all doors to get out, and Mazeltov. Maariv, 845, first million.
Go! Actually, it was excellent. An hour 10. Excellent. An hour 10, right? Excellent.
Please use all doors to the tent. You're all invited to the collation. Mazeltov again. First million for Maariv, 845. If someone lost a pair of glasses, please come up to the podium. If you can't see how to get here, you know you lost them. Please use all the doors, go out to the tent, enjoy Mazeltov.